Welcome everyone, thank you for coming today. Like Molly said, my name is Melissa Wass and I'm here representing both the Brown County Seed Library and New Leaf Foods and the Northeast Wisconsin Master Gardeners. And I'm here to talk about how food sovereignty can strengthen food security and some of the ways we are working to remove barriers to food sovereignty in Northeast Wisconsin. These terms are understood and defined in different ways. For clarity, I'll use the following definitions throughout today's discussion. So food security means having reliable access to enough safe and nutritious food for health and well-being. Food sovereignty is the right of peoples to healthy and culturally appropriate food produced through ecologically sound and sustainable methods, and their right to define and participate in their own food and agriculture systems. While humans eat food from many sources, including plants, animal, and fungi, plants are the foundation of most human food, either because we eat them directly or because they support the animals and other organisms that we consume. And although there's an estimated 30,000 terrestrial plant species edible, humanity relies heavily on a relatively small number of crops. About 30 crops account for 95% of human food energy needs, and just 5 cereals provide roughly 60% of global dietary energy. This concentration makes the food supply vulnerable because disease, pests, extreme weather, or other disruptions affecting a few major crops can have severe consequences. A good example of this that I'm sure everyone is familiar with is the Irish potato famine in the 1840s. One disease affecting one crop caused the death of approximately 1 million people. Beyond the crops themselves, the broader food system includes many interconnected parts, as shown here. Food sovereignty and food security are affected both by external pressures on the food system, such as weather, and by barriers that limit people's ability to participate in it. Unfortunately, we have locally experienced several events recently showing how weather can affect our food system. This photo was taken from a yard in Green Bay on Mather Street on June 24th. That was when we had that severe flooding event here in Green Bay. And since I wrote this presentation, we had an F3 tornado come through Menasha. And if any of you are on Facebook and have seen some of the pictures, I know I'm in a lot of gardening groups and I've seen people's years and years of work just destroyed. It's very, very important that we diversify and increase people participating in the food production so that when these types of events happen, we have the resources to bounce back. Similar disruptions occur around the world. They can interfere with varying aspects of the food system and ultimately affect food availability and prices. These pressures matter because many people already lack reliable access to adequate food. So this is not a local statistic, but in 2024, a joint United Nations report estimated 2.3 billion people, or more than 1 in 4, experienced moderate or severe food insecurity. And so that was 2 years ago. You would think that by this time, we'd be able to increase or improve on that number, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Within the food system itself, there are also many challenges. Much of it can be boiled down to access. Seed and plant starting material access can be limited by legal and ownership barriers such as patents, licensing agreements, and contracts. These rules can limit whether seeds or plants can be saved, reproduced, sold, or even shared. Access can also be limited by market and distribution barriers. Think food deserts and rising food and fuel costs. For home growers and community growers, access also includes practical barriers like time, growing space, and healthy soils. Knowledge matters too. If people do not have access to gardening education, seed-saving skills, or cooking skills, they are limited in their ability to participate in the food system. But the good news is some of these access barriers are things we can influence with a local approach. When we bring more aspects of the food system closer to home, we can give individuals and communities greater opportunity to participate in and shape it, from seed to harvest, to shared food to saved seed. This does not mean replacing the broader food system or expecting everyone to grow, process, and store their own food. It means creating more local pathways for participation, knowledge, and food system diversity. When communities create meaningful ways for more people to participate, food sovereignty grows. The goal is not simply to ask people to come more involved, but to make participation more possible. So we seek to build pathways to reduce or eliminate these barriers. The Seed Library is one example of these possible pathways being built through local collaboration. The idea grew from NEW Food Forum's Food Action Plan. In the summer of 2022, our partner organizations began working together on creating a seed library to offer a small collection of free crop seeds to the community. This collaboration is in itself an example of food sovereignty in practice. Local organizations identified a community need, pooled their knowledge and resources, and created a locally curated response. Brown County Seed Library opened to the public in March of 2023. It is now a year-round community resource that has evolved to offer much more than just seeds. Here are some of the things the Brown County Seed Library provides for the community. We provide free seeds throughout the year, both crop seeds and native seeds to support our pollinators, as well as free seedlings and other plant starting materials such as onion bulbs each May. These are made possible through donations and grants from local growers, organizations, and individual gardeners. We also support seed stewardship through training on growing and saving seed true to type, free pollination bags to help prevent unwanted cross-pollination, and access to seed cleaning equipment. The Seed Library also helps build community. We host volunteer events where people of all ages can come together to pack and clean seeds, and I know that several of you have joined us in those. These events strengthen community connections and increase awareness of our programs. Volunteer opportunities and community activities such as the Seed Launch give people with shared interest a place to gather, learn together, and participate directly in the food system. We also provide free education on a variety of gardening topics. This education is offered through programs provided by our partner organizations and through our monthly newsletter. The newsletter also shares timely advice, recipes, and information about locally relevant gardening education and activities. So after the flooding this summer, the Seed Library used the newsletter to identify crops that could still be planted in time for a local harvest and made sure those seeds were available to gardeners. By having a community network already in place, we were able to reach people quickly and efficiently with advice and seeds tailored to the unique needs brought on by this event. New Leaf Foods expands food sovereignty beyond the annual garden bed by helping people access perennial food crops, edible public spaces, affordable plants, and free education. We have several different programs that you can see here that help assist with this mission. Food sovereignty grows when people have knowledge, resources, and real opportunities to participate, and this in turn can strengthen food security. It's not about independence from the larger food system, it is greater participation within it and greater ability to be resilient when faced with challenges. The Brown County Seed Library and New Leaf Foods are working towards that goal by increasing access, preserving knowledge, and supporting local plant resources. Thank you. And as we move into discussion, I invite you to think about one question. What is one thing that you can grow, learn, or share? And who can you connect with from this event?